Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday afternoon. You are attending Aparo's Nonprofit Bites and Insights. These are our free webinar series that we have tailored specifically for nonprofit professionals. We offer a wide range of topics, and today we are focused on storytelling with your phone, simple video tools for nonprofits. And this is a two-part series. So we are kicking things off this week, and we will wrap things up next week. We have Fela Davis with us, co-founder of 23DB Productions. So fortunate to have her here for, I think, this unique topic. So I will be learning alongside of you all. But before I turn it over to her, few housekeeping items. This session is being recorded, so it will be uploaded to Aparo's website as well as our YouTube channel. All of you attending live, however, will receive a follow-up email from me. It'll include the direct link to the recording, as well as any slide decks and resources we talk about today. Q&A, chat box are available for you to use. Feel free to use either. We will be monitoring both. And really quickly, for those of you who are new to Aparo and what we do, we are a nonprofit ourselves. We are based in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we help other nonprofits with any of their technology or business process needs and challenges. So if you are ever in the need or just want to ask questions or have a thought partner around your business, that's our sweet spot. So don't hesitate to reach out and have a conversation with us. So the best way to connect is to visit our website at apar.org. You can submit a request or just take a quick glance of all the different offerings and programs that we offer. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our email list to stay updated on our programs. And that is it for me. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and go ahead and turn it over. It is all yours.
All right. Thank you, Yinting. I'm going to start sharing. All right. Good stuff. Good afternoon, everyone. Um, so, yeah, we're going to get into how to tell a story with smartphones, which we all have at this point. Let's get right into it. Um, my background a little bit. I'm an audio engineer by trade, but I've been doing audio and video stuff for about the last 20 years. Um, I own 23, co-own 23 DV Productions, like Yenting mentioned, and our clients include a Brighter Day Outreach, which is here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We've worked with the Human Rights Campaign to Rick and Morty to Paramount, iHeartRadio, all that sort of thing. So we've done everything from super high end stuff to, hey, just using our phones to get it done, even for our business. And I'm also a part of the Hall of Fame for my university. So let's get right into it. Why stories matter. Storytelling is connection. Storytelling also gets you to action. So connection plus action. And then you want to inspire people because you're nonprofits. You want to inspire donors, volunteers, the community, um, to assist with what you're trying to solve a problem at. Um, Storytelling examples. We all know of storytelling with emotional appeal. Those especially inspire donations. The relatable journey builds trust, which makes people come back and want to, donate their time or sweat equity on something. And then always have a call to action in your videos, a way to solve the problem that you're presenting in your video. I want to get into sharing what we've done. This first, let's see, the first, let me get into it. I want to share with you a video that we did. This wasn't with the cell phone, but just to show you kind of the kind of storytelling that we do. And this was what a local nonprofit, which I mentioned earlier, A Brighter Day. And this was the opening of their food pantry. So let's check it out. Three, two, one.
My name is Julia Knox. I've lived in this community for 54 years. A Brighter Day started in my backyard, and we started on this journey about 17 years ago.
Wrote a grant, not knowing one way or the other whether we would get it to build a food pantry. Oftentimes we have people stop by here that want food or need to use some form of resource or anything that will aid them in whatever they need in that moment. I'm grateful. Actually, a lunch and a breakfast, yes. So that's how it started. And then the grant came in from Lowe's Home Improvement. Let's give Lowe's a big round of applause. Our daily bread that will be coming through today between 2 and 3 to drop off for this weekend. And then he's going to let me know what they plan on doing for, stocking the food pantry each week. I'm going to help.
They just gave me a few things I just wanted in case you wanted to feed some of you.
Oh, excellent, excellent. This is nice. See?
These are all frozen Chick-fil-A.
Okay, awesome.
So you can put it in these pans and serve it. So you just have to put them in the oven and heat them up. They're all cooked. You should have plenty.
Okay.
And then I got some blessing bread.
Wow. This is great.
What's in there?
These are blessing bags. You have Ensure, nuts, toilet paper, toothbrush, lotions. This is great.
Yeah, you got
These are true blessing bags.
protein drinks. I'm trying to work Friday, maybe deliver some bread and pastries.
That'd be
you.
perfect.
Okay,
I'll be here.
I'll try to see if I can divert it from one of the other churches. All
Okay,
right?
sounds good.
All right.
Give me a hug.
You got it. God bless. All right.
Same here. I appreciate you. All right, have a good
Enjoy
one.
Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
I remember when, Beverly told me about the food pantry as being something that they were going to get. I was, I guess, part before they actually had this house. So it's just exciting to see it all come together.
I am so elated to be here today to be celebrating this food pantry and to see another one of Beverly's visions and dreams come to life.
It's just an amazing day to see it all come together to provide more fresh produce for this community and additional resources so that people can have what they need.
I'm really excited about the food pantry being opened. A lot of the families in this area experience food insecurity and have a hard time with transportation. So having something right here available for them will be really great. It'll be awesome to be on the front line of that instead of having to send people to other areas of Charlotte to receive food assistance.
All right. So that, okay. Right. So that's an example of quite a few things. I mean, you had testimonial, then you had the information about the actual food pantry. So that video was longer than what you'll see on like your social media reels and stuff like that, but it's told a complete story. But then we also use that for like shorter reels and shorts out of that as well. I think it's important to still tell long form stories as well as your shorter form 60-second, 90-second clips that we're used to for shorts and stuff like that. Now, let me get back. Okay. So, like I said before, emotional appeal. I think that that video definitely had the emotional appeal of you seeing a problem being solved, the relatable journey. We whether it's volunteering or giving or needing to receive at the time, and then having the call to action at the end. How can you pledge? How can you donate? How can you volunteer? Every time you do a video as a nonprofit, it has to have something going with that. And then story structure. So, we had the hook at the very beginning of that video. You see, like, oh, 3, 2, 1. It's like, oh, something is opening. And you don't, that's the hook to get you into the video immediately. And then the problem, there's food insecurity, in that particular part of Charlotte. And, a brighter day is here to solve it. And we're showing you how it's going to happen, who we're partnering up with to make it happen. That it's not just an ask for money and that's it, but you're seeing that there's already action behind it. So you want to have that feeling as well when you're creating videos, when you're thinking about the content and what you want to come with. And then, having your solution / impact. How does your nonprofit help? And you really got to nail that down. That's why we use quite a few testimonials with that. The hands-on, you seeing the food, you seeing it getting put away, like really driving it home. And it's weird because it's never enough. You always say it's never enough video. It's never enough content because you never know what one piece of content can, trigger that donation, that big donation or that, that big volunteer help that you need for that certain product or, not product, but thing that you're doing or the service or what you have going on. Call to actions. Yeah. What do you want them to do? Do you want them to go to your website? Do you want them to go to your social media? Do you want them to follow? What, always, whatever you need, always ask. Let me know if anybody has any questions so far. Yin Ting will let me know. So again, let's get right into the basics of filming and working with production. With your phone, you want to make sure when you're filming that you have plenty of headroom. And when I say headroom, that's right here. So if I just tilt this down, that's not enough headroom. Like you always want to give a good amount of space over top of the head in case something pops up or for any kind of movement that you still get the face in the frame. And that's the most important because you're usually telling the story or the subject. You may be doing some B-roll, which B-roll is just video of a subject or the service that you're doing and stuff like that. And then you do like a voiceover. You can do that as well. And as far as the lighting, always face towards the light. Right now, I have my LED panel on my face right now, so that it looks nice. Because I have this other light behind me, and that can be a little strong at times, that lamp, if I don't have a good strong front light that's going over my face. So even if you don't have a bunch of money, you don't have money to spend on some lights, which they're not that expensive really. It's a couple $100. You can get like two LED lights or something. And or just use the outdoors, especially, if your nonprofit has to do with outdoorsy stuff. And always remember to put the face towards the sun, and then you're filming the face that way. So you'll have a nice contrast, and you can really, the phone can really see everything that's going on. And avoid a backlight. You don't want the sun behind you, because that'll look brighter in the back than your face. So always avoid that. And speak clearly into the phone's microphone. Clearly, a little bit even louder than you would normally speak, as your speaking voice, because you want everything to come across very clear and concise, and where you want, you want your whoever is looking at this content, where you want them, to look at, and how you want them to feel, and that helps with just a good video, and good audio, just the basics, getting those basics right. And this also happens with practice. You can also purchase a phone mic as well. There are mics for phones now. You see it a lot with TikToks. It's a person holding a microphone to their face, and then that's also that's connected to a cell phone.
Ayla, can you clarify, are we talking about selfie videos or someone else taking the video?
Both, actually. Both. If it's a selfie, yeah, you're closer to it, so you can kind of be in more of a conversational thing. But if somebody else has the phone and it's a little further away, definitely project if you don't have a microphone. But definitely, if somebody else is doing it for you, you should probably use a microphone. Is there another question, Yinting?
Yeah, this one's more about what you were talking about with the sun. So when this person says, when I do content, I'm off camera speaking about the activity. Should I, with the camera, have my back to the sun?
Whatever the subject is that you're covering, make sure that that's towards the sun. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter about you. If you're doing voiceover from behind, then it's fine. And the microphone it's omnidirectional. It should be catching you even from behind the camera. So the audio should still be good as well. Does that answer their question? Let me know if that doesn't.
Okay. Thanks.
And using a tripod, which I have one here. So this is a tripod that I use for my phone, and I have the phone attachment. It's kind of like the same thing you use for like a selfie video. But then this is a video / photography tripod. So I would suggest that for like a series. If you want to do something every week, have your tripod ready, and you have a place that you're gonna do it and kind of make it a series. I suggest use that, or a gimbal. Is another, which I have here as well. A gimbal is a handheld situation. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this as well. Um, so yeah, you put your cell phone in here, and then it kind of keeps out the jerky motion because it's here. It's more, it gives everything a smoother, more professional look. And things like these start at like, I don't know, 30, $50 or something like that on Amazon. So very easy to use, and but it gives that very a good professional look and touch to it when you have a steady cam and it's not just you kind of holding it. Even though I do love a good selfie video, that's great, explaining, especially like Beverly, who I work with at A Brighter Day. She does a lot of that as well as us coming in with the more professional look as well. That's more of her daily content is that, and then we'll come in when she has like an event or something like that, and we'll, collect, better and, more content for her.
We do have a clarification on the sun question.
Mhm.
So this one is if I'm filming people working in the garden, where should they be positioned in relation to the sun? Say if it's in the afternoon, should I stand between them and the sun or put them between me and the sun?
Oh, yeah, that's okay. You want to get to where you're not blocking the sun when you're taping that subject.
Mm.
Whichever way that works, because that depends on time when
Mm.
you're using natural light. So look at what you're capturing at the time, and if you see yourself or your shadow in it, start adjusting. Just, do a full circle until you see that you're in the angle that you want. And and you're probably going to be talking anyway and kind of adding in what you're, so it won't be odd per se, but you do want to I always keep in mind, I don't really like to see shadows. I like to see the subject in full light. So as much as you can get that going, the better. So that's just adjusting to the situation every time.
Good question. Thank you.
Anybody else? Another?
That's it so far.
That's it. Okay. And then editing basics. I want everybody to download uh I personally use CapCut, but all of these are kind of the same. InShot, iMovie. I think there's something called Capture. It's a bunch of these apps that are great for doing basic video editing. They're free up to a certain point. You can't do everything per se with it being free, but you can do the basic stuff. So with these apps, you're gonna upload the videos that you've taken, and then you want to put it all together and start coming up with the content, whether that's going to be a 90-second thing or you're going to do a longer thing. You can edit in these apps. And I'm talking about everything from fade ins to fade outs for the audio, um, uh, uh, captions, all that sort of thing. Yep, Yinting.
Do you have any thoughts on the app edits or using Canva?
All of it is good. Whatever you're quick with, whatever you and your team feel works for you the best, I'd say use that. Whatever works for you, and that you can do pretty quickly. Because I mean, you need to, even as a nonprofit, you need to be posting fairly often. Um, to get the awareness out there of what you're doing. It's never enough with content. Um, And even with that, I mean, with Beverly at A Brighter Day, she was like, "Oh, I was just at an event." And they're like, "You're everywhere." And I was like, "Oh, online or in person?" She was like, "Both," they said. So that's where you want to get it to, is like people just know that you're out there and getting out as much information as possible about your nonprofit. Yep, Yinting.
Going back to the last slide when you were sharing about the gimbal, do you have any recommendation on a certain brand?
Not really. I personally, this one I'm using is a iSteady X3 SE gimbal that I'm using, but I mean, there's so many. There's not like a preferred one per se for that. Whatever works for you and is within your budget. Always, keep within your budget. All of this I'm trying to do is free or as nominal price as possible, what I'm talking about now, and not, necessarily the stuff that I'm doing for my business. So, but you can still put out great content whether you have high end gear or not, you know. And this is what, we're trying, we're adding to it. But like I said, with those apps, you can do editing, and you can put filters on it. It is everything that you want to do to make it look and sound professional. They even have a noise reduction. So say you're at an event and you're doing maybe a selfie, or somebody's holding the camera for you and you don't have a microphone. There is a like noise isolation. So it'll kind of follow what's going on, and the the louder audio that's going on, it'll kind of lower all the other stuff in the back. And that thing works really good. And that's the one in CapCut, but they all have it, and that's really good to get a cleaner, tighter sound with your video. Because if they can't hear you, then what's the point of it in the first place as well? And then yeah, and adding for captions for accessibility, for the hearing disabled and all that sort of thing, and ADA compliance and stuff. It just helps overall, and a lot of people will just be looking at reels and not have the audio on. So you want to still, get over what's going on and what you need help with, and what, you need help with services and that sort of thing. Any more questions?
That's it
'Cause
so
then I
far.
want to get into the homework.
Let's do it.
Okay. And actually, I'll show you. I want to show another video I did with A Brighter Day. So, um, besides just covering her, like A Brighter Day outreaches, events and stuff like that, I also produce a bi-weekly podcast for her, for A Brighter Day, Beverly. And it's a pretty cool podcast. I come in and I actually use my phone. I use a phone to record the video, and we use it for YouTube shorts and reels and Facebook and all that sort of thing. So we have the long form of the video of the podcast, and then you get shorts. So it's a great way to get 2 weeks of content from like 20 minutes of video and content time. And the cool thing, Beverly interviews people like council people, local volunteers. So it just gives the overall, it's fantastic because it gives the overall sense of what she's doing, and you're hearing it from other people's perspectives as well. This video I'm going to show, this is a short from the podcast, and we actually did a podcast with Duru, the real estate Duru. He's a influencer in the real estate game, and that falls in line with A Brighter Day and the gentrification situation of that area of historic Hoskins. Bringing in different people like that is a cool way to show how this works even for you, whether you're a real estate person, and how does that work in a lower income neighborhood. And it was a great conversation, so I want to share that right quick. Trying to move this toolbar out of the way. Hold on.
Charlotte has a lot of programs available to help people buy homes. It's just that you have to want to do it.
That's true. That's very true. Even in such a time as this, and we know that, funding is tight and this, but there are still so many programs that you could go through to get educated. And what we'll do is provide, some of those links to some of the resources that are available through the city and the county. But I do want to make sure that everybody has a clear understanding that, this real estate is real.
It's very real.
It's very real. And
very rewarding.
there you
Very
go.
rewarding. If you're willing to stay in it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's rewarding.
So young people, please listen to this gentleman. My two are always asking and wanting to figure out how to make money. I was like, guys, it's in the real estate,
Charlotte has a lot of programs available
So
to help people buy homes.
yeah, hold on one second.
That's true.
All right. So, that was a clip from the podcast. So, out of that podcast, we'll do like 6 clips to go through like 2 weeks of content. And that's how we're using and continuing to come out with more and more content, even when there's not events going on. And there's always still that as well, or some kind of volunteer thing, and things that we're putting out there on social media. So let's get back to that. Okay, so what I want to do is give you guys some homework. I would like for everyone to record a 60-second story about your nonprofit's mission using the formula I talked about earlier: the hook, the problem, the solution, and the call to action. Apply some of the production stuff that we talked about a little bit earlier. As you guys see, as you guys will like work on this over the next week, you'll see that there are like different, ways that you can tweak it yourself. It's always about getting better. If I go back to my very first video I ever did, and it was like, ooh, wow. Um, so you only get better with video editing by doing it, or having someone within your team that's like that's their thing. Um, I would suggest kind of like writing down, what do you want this to accomplish with the call to action? What actions do you want to see out of this video? What are creative ways that would be great to get people pulled in? Because I want you to put this stuff on your social media pages, and I want this to help you guys to get recognition on something. I mean, you never know. Um, why this is so important to me, like storytelling and stuff, because I know that it personally helped me out. When like I said earlier, I'm an audio engineer by trade. So when I moved, I'm from South Carolina, and I realized like, oh, I have to go to where they tour, which was either New York or LA. Even after I had moved to Florida, I was down in South Florida for 4 years. And I realized all the tours that I wanted to get on, all the engineers were either from LA or New York. So I ended up moving up to New Jersey, and I didn't know anybody. And this was like 2012. And I realized that, oh, I can start doing this video thing. Let me start putting out there what I do. I'm fresh to New York, and nobody knows me, so I start posting the bands that I do like, and I'm making $50 a night and stuff in Brooklyn and in Manhattan. And 8 months into posting, a 9-time Grammy Award winner finds me and is like, "Hey, I need an audio engineer to go out on tour with me. Are you interested? I see your stuff online." So even with me being an audio engineer, and all I did was just put out there what I do, and the right people found me. So you just never know. And even from that, I ended up writing for Mix Magazine, which is a major magazine in audio engineering, what I do. The editor found me on LinkedIn from me posting. And I just got a bunch of stories like that, for myself personally and for my clients as well. So just get out there and do it. When I started doing it, people were like very skeptical until I ended up getting one of the top gigs in Manhattan. So I really can't stress to you guys enough to please participate, put it out there, show it to me, reach out to me and follow me. 23D Productions. I'm looking at all the stuff in the time, what's going on. So, yeah, if you have any questions about the direction that you're going and stuff like that, reach out as well. Yinting?
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Really cool story. So we had a question, having just downloaded but done nothing with edits, should I just record something and then see what the editing tools are? Or do you know what you need the final product to look like and record
Yes.
something that fits the quote unquote template?
Practice. Practice, practice, practice. Do as many of these as you can over this next week. Every day, just knock out, 30 seconds of telling the story, or when you're at your nonprofit, showing what you're doing, showing the action, all of that sort of thing, and then adding in voiceover, or not even adding in voiceover, just quick cuts of what you guys are doing, the actions that are happening. And as far as, never touching an editing, app before, I understand. That's when we just gotta hop on YouTube. YouTube University with that when you do get stuck. But it's once you kind of learn one app, it's kind of universal to all the other apps as far as editing. And, whether you're, putting a hard blade and cutting or if you're fading out and all that sort of thing, you have that option in all of those apps that I showed earlier. So let me know, just check out the YouTube stuff on it. There's the beginner stuff, and that's all you need. How to quick cut. Do you want to add music to it? And as far as music, I would suggest that you add the music that's available in each platform. So I would edit the video with you talking and all of that, but then use the audio from the platform so that there's no copyright issues and your video doesn't get taken down for some reason. Yinting, I think somebody else asked a question. Let me see. Oh yeah, how to get in touch with me. I think that's my next frame. Hold on. Right there. That's how you get in touch with me. Anybody have any more questions? And and as far as like, oh, I don't know what to say and stuff like that, use Chat GPT. You use like, okay, hey, I'm making a video, a 60-second video towards this particular thing, you know, make this in my voice for the nonprofit. Make a pretty detailed prompt so it'll give you something for your particular nonprofit, and kind of go from there. I really want to see, everything get, I want to see you guys kind of push out there what you guys are working on now, or whether it's an event coming up. Use this to push that, and homework that could also get you volunteers or donations as well.
We had a question come in through a Q&A. How do you recommend doing a video to promote yourself? I am the person in the background and have been encouraged to quote unquote put myself out there and toot my own horn. What recommendations do you have, especially when one is needing to brand oneself for employment, contracting, prospects? Thank you.
Oh, branding yourself. I mean, yeah, you putting out there with your latest with your latest things that you have done. I like to use social media and stuff for branding, of just showing what I can do. And that was what initially got me in a position that I got into with not really knowing anybody, but they saw that I could do it. It wasn't a question of like, I don't know if I like it was like, oh, okay, I know that it can be done. So it's just showing it repeatedly and being known as that thing in your niche, and getting to know other people in that niche that are even bigger than you and have a bigger space than you. Because that was how I initially started doing a podcast myself like 8 years ago. I wanted to get in the rooms with the heaviest musicians, engineers, artists, and stuff like that without anybody interrupting, like their significant others or an assistant. When you're doing an interview, people don't, interrupt as much. So using tactics like that to get in front of like heavy heavyweights because everybody likes to do an interview. And your face is being associated with this person who's known in your field. So that and then being a part of other organizations in that world. Like for me, it's like Audio Engineering Society, AES, or NARIS for the Grammys, all that sort of thing. I put myself around those people and would be like, hey, could we do an interview? And that works even for, a nonprofit, I would say. That donator that you would like to have donate, hey, have them on your on your show to talk about the other donations they've done. Just this is as creative as you want it to be. Like there is no ceiling because it's just you. So take that creativity to anywhere you want to take it, so that and to be recognized, but it's also being recognized in a way that that you're good at it. I knew that I was good at kind of capturing bands with a 2-track recorder, and not many engineers were doing that. Well, none at all, really. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I got to do what nobody else is doing. But I also did what the heaviest engineers were doing, which at the time, the heaviest engineers had a profile pic. They had a bio. I did what the other engineers that where I wanted to be did. So check out where those nonprofits that make a gang of money and you're like, how do they do it? Just at least copy what they're doing. And and you can get something out of that. I can guarantee you that this works whether it's nonprofits or for business. So yeah, so it's many things, just thinking outside of the box and within the box and using what appeals to you and your sensibilities and taking it with your creativity and how you want to get your brand out there. So
I love that. Those are great tips. We have something else come through. Do you recommend making a video for the agency or leadership for LinkedIn to connect with new markets or audiences?
all of it, all of it. See what works. See what does. Try it out. Yeah, whether it's a word from leadership or it's a word from the staff, or they have their own shows that they can put out there what they're doing. Create your own series for the staff, create your own series for the leadership and what they want to put out there. None of this costs any real money. Like you could just put this on your LinkedIn's, your nonprofits, LinkedIn's, and then I would also say share that to your personal as well. For me personally, with my LinkedIn, I post pretty much everything on my LinkedIn business, and then I reshare it to the personal to get people to like and follow my business page. And then this is another good tip is that you should also post. What was the last thing I said, Yinting? I lost my train of thought.
That you post on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I post on LinkedIn. Oh, the other tip. There are 250 invites in your LinkedIn every month. Use those. When people are like, well, nobody follows my page, it's like, because you need to they give you 250 invites on LinkedIn. So put those out, and then when people accept the invite, they give you back that invite. So use that to get more people to see the stuff that's going on at your nonprofit and on your pages. It's all about getting those eyes over there so that, who knows what can happen.
Should we post stories, reels, or general posts? Is there a difference?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, that video that I post, the first video that I showed, that one was 4 minutes long. So that would have to be a post. So it kind of depends. And I think you should tell all the stories, short stories, longer form stories, all of it. You never know what's going to uh, get people interested and want to know more. Okay, I saw the short. Now I want to see the long form. Now, and again, you just never know who's looking at those things and who's into what. So, yeah, you want to use all of it, stories, reels, especially reels, but stories, you could get people's attention with that. And yeah, general posts are still just good to get out there.
These are great questions. Keep coming, putting those in. Right now, let's see, we've covered all the Q&A. I think we got all the chat. Any final questions?
Yeah. Oh, and as far my email is info@23DB Productions. So I could put that in. If you want to send me a video ahead of time, and I'll give some feedback. No problem. Come back next week for the feedback, and I'll tell people, and we can go over it that way.
Perfect. Do you recommend nonprofits get a TikTok, or is Facebook and Instagram good?
I say, why not? I say try. I say put it everywhere. TikTok, it's part of the zeitgeist right now, so you got to be in it. So, that's where the eyes are at and the ears. So you really have to be where the eyes and ears are. So yeah, join TikTok, definitely. And I mean, I'm not even saying you don't even have to do different videos. It's just another place to post that video. And you just never know who sees what, where, when. So, so yeah,
You never know.
yeah. I mean, it's great. It's a great game because you'll just get a random DM from somebody about a video they saw, and you're like, "What?" And it's been amazing. And I've been doing this for over a decade of just like doing my own video and my own branding and putting out there what I do. That now I even work with like different manufacturers for video, or well, for like audio products. So endorse like different microphones and audio interfaces. Everything you hear me talking through right now, I'm actually been endorsed through. And that's because I put out a lot of good content. And you don't even need a gang of followers or a lot. I don't even have a big following like that. But if you're in my space, you know that I'm doing heavy stuff. And that's really what all of you need. If you're known as the heavyweight in your space, you're getting the attention, you're getting the money, you're getting the volunteers, and that's what you're building with this.
Great points. So going off of what you mentioned about next week, yes, please come back with your videos. We're going to change the webinar format into a meeting format. So just a heads up on that so that you will have an opportunity to share. So please do share. Like Bayla recommended or put out there, her email address is I'll put it in the follow-up email, and you can email her beforehand if you're a little hesitant in sharing. So don't hesitate to do that. I will be sending out the follow-up email. It'll include this deck, but I'll pull out those details of the homework assignment so you'll be able to see it. Do you need to register for next week? So if you're registered for this one, you will get the reminder for next week. They're all connected.
Yes, I can't wait to see everybody's videos.
We have 5 minutes, so one more question came through. Do you have any recommendations for staff who is not in marketing department but want to contribute with the efforts on that department?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is their time to shine. If they're interested in this, I mean, I think you should kind of give everybody the option on the teams to be able to post and give their takeaways from certain things, or or even inviting people to create their own series in your nonprofit. You have to get out there as much as possible, whether it's one person doing it or like 5 different people having 5 different series about what they do in that nonprofit. It's all about building community and people being like, oh, this is interesting. I never heard that version of this before. Yeah, giving people that option. I mean, it's a beautiful option because it's building up their own brand, but also the nonprofit's brand as well. And you just kind of never know where that kind of stuff can go. When you give people their own creative energy and like, hey, you can kind of do this thing, and I'm going to give you the platform to put it out there that's going to help you as well as the nonprofit. I say put it out there.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think that is it for now. I put the webinar post survey in the chat, so please open that up. Thank you, all of you, for attending, and we hope to see you next week. Thanks so much, Fela. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Can't wait to see the videos. Bye-bye.
Bye.